Yo team, welcome back to the vlog. Hope you're all doing well. So today is officially day number 1 of the lean lifestyle series. I've already woken up, I've already done my cardio, 25 minutes on the Stairmaster, absolutely smashed it. Now it's time for breakfast, so I'm going to show you what I'm eating. Meal number 1 is quite a big one, just about to go in. So I have already done my cardio. Like I said, I've done it fasted because I just want it out of the way. There is no benefits to doing your cardio fasted or fed. It's just down to personal preference. So I just wanted to make sure I've got it over and done with. So this is the first meal of the day going down. So 25 grams of whey. We have 1 banana, 90 grams of oats. We've got 15 grams of dark chocolate, which will go in the oats. And then we're going to mix up 80 grams of berries. The final product, we've got oats and berries and dark chocolate. Doesn't look very nice, but food's food, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's not what it looks like, it's what it tastes like. Next off, we're gonna have the banana and a shake, and whilst I eat my breakfast, I'm just gonna crack on and watch some YouTube and just relax. So this is the gym that I'm going to be training at for the majority of the lean lifestyle series. It's an awesome gym, all hammer strength, all life fitness, and it's Marvel themed. 30 minutes away from where I live. It's not too far to travel, but it's just out of the town where I live, and it's just great vibes, and they've got some awesome kit. So I'm going to just take you in there for leg day. So guys, if you are enjoying the video so far, if you could do 2 things for me. 1, give it a thumbs up. That would help out the video and help it get shared out to a few more people. And second, if you're not already subscribed to this team, please hit the subscribe button, because that will make you join the team, and that's the most important thing. I want to build an amazing community here on YouTube. Right, so let's talk about it. Why you should be doing mobility as part of your warm-up. The obvious answer is actually just to warm up. So we want to make sure that our body is nice and primed to go through the movements in which we're going to do. So for example, if you are about to do a squat by session, you might want to add some body weight squats so your body understands what it's going to do. The exercise I'm doing here is called hip snappers. The idea is just to warm up the hips. And again, what we're trying to do is internally and externally rotate the hips. So basically you're twisting them from side to side, open them up. So when you perform a squat, and I see a lot of people do this wrong in the gym, is they don't push their knees out to the side. So if you're someone like myself that has long legs, if you don't push your legs out to the side, you're not going to get deep enough, and you're going to put a lot of pressure onto your kind of lower body. So here's a little tip. If you are a tall kind of person with long legs, focus on driving your knees outwards, and it will mean that you'll be able to get deeper into a squat without much effort. So I would recommend probably doing about 20 repetitions on the hip snappers and doing 3 rounds of that. So this exercise here is called laying Cobra. So we're just trying to prime the lower body, mostly the back. So when you do squat, a lot of people get lower back pain or a lower back pump. So what we're trying to do is stretch off this so it doesn't take a massive hit when we come to doing our squats. Next off, we're just doing angry cat. So this is just trying to get some more thoracic extension into our body. So basically, I'm not very good at keeping my torso upright when I squat. I tend to lean forward like most people do. So what I'm trying to do is just drill that position, keeping my back nice and tight throughout the exercise. So if you're someone that does front squats, what will tend to happen is when you fail a lift is because you lean it too far forward. When you lean forward, you will lose the lift. So next exercise we've got here is for the hamstrings. So if you are doing any back squats, the idea is to work your glutes and hamstrings. Those are the muscles that are going to be working and put under the most amount of stress. So I'm just laying on my back, got my hands interlocked, running behind the back of the hamstring. I've not got it on the knee joint because that will cause a lot of problems. We want to make sure that that is on the hamstring. So what I'm trying to do is pull my leg towards myself, and with all my force try and push my leg away, and you'll see my leg is shaking. That's a great way of warming up your hamstrings. I'd recommend probably hold it for 20 seconds, then try and apply a bit more pressure, hold it for another 20 seconds, bit more pressure, 20 seconds, relax. So basically, in a nutshell, you're holding it for a minute and you're increasing the stretch every 20 seconds. Now, if I could give you any tip to improve your squatting is working on your ankle mobility. I've seen it so many times when I walk into a gym, people aren't squatting deep enough, and this will be down to ankle mobility. You need to make sure that your ankles are nice and warm. And you've probably heard this say, you shouldn't let your knees go over your toes. Well, I'd argue that. Look at all the best weightlifters in the world. Their knees go over their toes. So if anyone tells you that, they need sacking, don't listen to them. So what we're trying to do is improve ankle mobility. So I've just got a dip bar here. What I've got is my foot pressed against it, and I'm trying to put as much pressure over the knee, over the toe, to allow me to go into kind of a deeper stretch and work my ankle. Key thing with this exercise is to make sure you keep your heel on the floor. So I've just watched myself back, and a couple of times it lifts off. So I know next time when I'm doing this to focus on putting more weight through my heel. So the last one we're going to do is, again, ankle mobility. Like I keep preaching at the moment, it is super important. We're just doing internal and external rotation. So we're basically going clockwise and anti-clockwise. Again, just trying to make sure that the ankle is nice and loose, so it allows us to kind of go into a deeper squat, and we're not going to be as limited because our ankles are in a better position. So that now covers the mobility, so hopefully you've got a couple of things that you can take away and add into your next leg session. And if you're on the fence whether to do it, I'd strongly recommend spending the time and warming up. Go into a gym, guys, take your pre-workout, do your mobility, and just before the pre-workout kicks in, you would have finished your mobility and you'd be in so much of a better position. So I'm just going to run through my workout and keep it raw with you and tell you kind of what I'm doing, what kind of my split is, and how I'm training. You can see some from my older vlogs. I like to do cross building. Now, at the moment, I've kind of taken the cross bit out of my building part. For me, the goal is to get into the best physique possible. So I'm going back to what works for me, and that is basically weight training and LISS, low intensity steady state, but I'll cover that in another video. So what we're doing here is we're working our hamstrings. Now this is a great bit of kit because it allows you to work each leg independently. So it means that I can just focus on the left side and I can just focus on the right side. Let's get into the main point of this workout. So this is a workout. I'm currently doing 2 rotations. So this workout here will be a hamstring bias session, and then the next time I kind of train legs will be more quad biased. So I'm hitting every kind of muscle group twice a week. So I'm doing legs, I'm doing push, I'm doing pull, I'll do rest, and then I'll rinse and repeat it. So basically I'm training 6 days out of 7, and that's what personally works for me. So I wouldn't suggest most of you go to do a 6-day split. It's probably not going to be the best thing for you. Make sure you're resting, but time's against me now, so I'm trying to push balls to walls. And the most important thing is I have got the time at the moment to train 6 times a week, and unfortunately some people that are watching the video might not have that luxury of doing it, but I'm telling you this now, guys, you do not need to train 6 times a week. So the main part of this kind of hamstring curl is I'm doing a max rep, rest, and max rep. So what I'm trying to do is do as many reps as I can, slow and controlled. I rest for 10 seconds and then go again. This again is just to shock the body, and again it's just to try to get a lot more volume throughout the muscle. Most importantly is to drive intensity, making sure that I'm pushing myself. This is one exercise that I've never done before, so if the form looks a little bit shocking, guys, bear with me. So this is what we call a safety bar squat. So this is something that I'd probably program to a brand new lifter or someone that's kind of getting into free weights, and they've been doing it for a little bit. So what I mean by that is they know the basics on how to squat, so they know how to do a goblet squat, but this is a great way of obviously making sure we can transfer the weight from the front part of the body to the back. So there's kind of 3 pads to this. There's 1 pad on the shoulders, and there's 1 pad kind of on the top of the back, and then the other 2 pads are running across the shoulders. What this allows me to do is allows me to get my hands in front of me as opposed to being up the top. Now, by doing all of this bodybuilding that I've been doing at the moment, my mobility is shocking, and I'm struggling to get my hand on the back of the bar. This is something that I know I need to work on and I need to address, but this is why I've programmed into back squats and most importantly the safety bar, because I want to get back into feeling that bar on my back. I want to get used to squatting again. So this is another variation. This is called a wide stance Smith machine. So my feet are going to be out a little bit more in front. This is just basically to activate more glutes and keep myself a little bit upright. Again, I didn't do too many sets on this because my arm couldn't handle it. It couldn't be back into that fixed position. But again, what I'm trying to do is work in lots of different angles. So if you do a narrow squat, it's more quad. If you do it more wide, it's more kind of glute and hamstrings.
So again, just messing with that. Bear with me the next kind of weeks, I will master it. So this exercise here is what we call an RDL, a Romanian deadlift. So the first set I did was 10 to 8 reps. And then the second set, the set you're seeing now, is paused reps. So the idea is to try and stretch the hamstrings and put more time under tension. So if weight is a limiting factor, so what I mean by that is if you haven't got access to the weight, you can do stuff like paused reps that will drill the technique, and it will basically make you a better lifter. There's nothing worse than obviously your technique falling apart. That's generally when people fail to lift weights, because their technique is shocking. So what we're trying to do here is pause at the bottom, get a good stretch on the hamstring and drive up. So we're now onto the leg press. So like I said at the beginning of the video, this is a hamstring focus. So what I've done is put my feet relatively high and wide apart, again trying to target the glutes and hamstrings. So if I was to change my foot position, I could work different parts of my leg. So I could work the front part, the back bit, but today, like I said, we're working the glutes and hamstring. So most important thing with a leg press is to make sure that you're bolted down and making sure you're driving your feet through there. Again, please do not lock your legs up at the top. You can cause yourself a massive injury. So again, all you want to do is lower it as low as you can and push up. But what you don't want to do is your bum to come off the bottom of the pad, because that will put a lot of pressure onto your lumbar, lower part of your spine, and that's where you can cause an injury. So just go as deep as what your muscles can allow you. So again, on here, I mixed up the rep ranges. I did 6 to 8 reps, nice and heavy. And then the 2 other sets I did were 10 to 12.
Wow, that was an absolute disaster. That ended up taking me an hour to get home. Not ideal in the heat, but we're finally home and I can't wait to get some food. So team, don't rinse me in the comment section, but at the age of 27, I have never had Cocoa Pops. So this is going to be the first time me eating them, so I'm super excited for that. So that's 100 gram Cocoa Pops post-workout, and then we've got 35 grams of whey, so that is about to go down. Right, so if we're going to do this properly, we've got to make sure it's all mixed in first. Then we're going to get a big spoonful and then try it. Now, I think this is going to be very difficult because I've got to try and look at the camera and then look at the spoon. Here it goes. Okay, so they just taste like Rice Krispies, just with a hint of chocolate. Definitely approve. Now, I'm a sucker for eating the same kind of food all the time. Like, I don't really like changing my food, to be honest. And I don't like trying new food. It's something that I'm getting better at. And I'm getting better as I get a little bit older. But I'm definitely glad I'm enjoying Cocoa Pops. So, next meal. This should have been meal number 2. But I was pushed for time this morning, so I've had to put it back a little bit. So we've just got some chicken, some rice and the vegetables. Yum, yum, yum. Can't wait to eat this one. So it's now later in the afternoon. I'm going to check in with some clients because they're my priority at the moment. Just make sure they're all checked in, make sure the weekends went all right, make sure they stuck to their plans, update any of their plans, any kind of queries that they have, just get that out of the way. And then I'm going to do a little bit of social media, a bit of YouTube and a bit of Instagram. And then what we'll do is come back downstairs for meal number 4 because it is a meal that I'm really looking forward to. I haven't tried it yet, which will be quite interesting. And I'm going to use an air cooker for the first time. So I'm going to take you through that. So fingers crossed we're going to have a go at making our own homemade chips. So I've just seasoned the potatoes with some pink and lemon sea salt. We've got some pepper and some Chinese five spice. So I'm just going to add this now to the air fryer and fingers crossed they come out well. So the potatoes are now in the air fryer. I'm just going to give them 20 minutes and then they will be done. I'm going to keep an eye on them because I've watched a couple of YouTube videos and people say that they take less than 20 minutes. So I'm going to keep going backwards and forwards and fingers crossed they come out really well because that's going to make dieting so much easier. It's going to be an absolute game changer. And here we have the final product. You've got 310 grams of potato crisps into chips. They look really good. And then I've just put some chicken sausages with it too. And that will be the next meal. Here we have it, the final meal about to go down. It's got some berries, some Greek yogurt. We've got another shake. I'm gonna sprinkle some of this maple syrup and make it taste good. Because if you've ever eaten Greek yogurt, I'm not a fan of it. It tastes like, I don't know, trying to keep it PG-13 here, but I'm not a fan of Greek yogurt unflavoured. So I'm just going to put some chocolate drops, maple syrup, and then I forgot to have this earlier, a bagel thin. Yes, weird combo, I know, but we've got to get the work done, and then that'll complete the full day of eating and training.